Hey, good morning. Chris Rod, Sun City Longer. How you guys doing? I'm doing great. As you guys can see, perennial ryegrass has come through very nice. All right. Time frame. Let's talk time frame real quick. This is 2 weeks after the overseeding process. We did the overseeding process on the 19th, September 19th, okay? So it's literally like 13 or 14 days later, and we've got about 2 inches of perennial rye growth, and the ground has been watered every single day since. We are doing, I started off week 1 with about 3 waterings per day, and then I bumped it up to 6 cycles per day, but I decreased the amount of time it was watering. I was just getting too much puddling around my pool deck area in this concrete patio right here. So I decreased the watering time, but bumped up the actual intervals. So what's today's video about? Mowing. When can you mow your grass after you've overseeded your lawn? Okay, so what we're talking about today, besides the when you can mow, is what type of grass. Okay, so we're talking about a Bermuda lawn that's been overseeded with perennial ryegrass. So when can you mow that? I typically, if I'm doing, I practice what I preach, which is for our clients, we always recommend 3 inches or 30 days, okay, whichever comes first. Now we're at a 2-inch mark and we're 2 weeks into this project. So I'm basically looking at an inch per week, if you will. I'm gonna give it 1 more week before I mow this. We're gonna monitor the grass. I've already took some measurements this morning. Some areas are 2. I got some over here that are about 2, almost 2 1/4. So we're gonna go 1 more week before I even put a mower on this, for one of 2 reasons. One, it's just not tall enough. It's not have that amount of time for it to get established. Again, you wanna wait till you get a good 3-inch height out of it, or 30 days, whichever comes first. And the second reason is because I've been watering every single day, and then we had some rain 2 days ago, I think it was. We got a good inch of rain then. I don't even want to think about putting a mower on this right now. Again, you know, if you've watched some of my previous videos, we have done some lawn leveling. I usually do it in the springtime for, you know, a Bermuda grass lawn. So I'm trying to avoid any kind of rut marks inside the lawn from my real mower. I'm sorry, my rotary mower, but the wheels, the wheels on the mower. I don't want to cause that, okay? So I'm gonna give it another week, and then we'll put the mower on it, and we'll probably be bagging some of those clippings. We were looking at it from the sidelines yesterday, and you know, it looks great. It looks smooth. The old lady said she likes the height of the cut right then and there, which I haven't cut it. It's just the height that she prefers. It's got a little top growth to it, okay? But outside of that, when can you mow? 3 inches or 30 days is the recommended mowing time frame, if you will. But also what we're gonna be talking about today, and something I'm gonna be addressing, is some spots that just didn't fill in, okay? We've got some areas over here. Let's see if I can. And it's, if you'll notice, it's the edges. All along the rock wall there, or the house, I should say, the brick house. Same thing here, it's the edges, okay? Same there, coming along the pool deck, it's the edges. And then I'm gonna show you one more quick spot. I'll show you 2 more quick spots that didn't fill in as well. Same thing, pool deck, edging, very light here. Make that 3. It filled in, but I mean, not filled in, it's got some, but it's along the edge here. And I will tell you why that happened. It is not my irrigation. Oh, here it is right here. It's not the irrigation, okay? It's the spreader I use, okay? So when you're using a broadcast spreader, a rotary spreader, I have the edge guard on the spiker spreader I have, but I was very timid about dropping seeds so close to the concrete. with the edger. I was getting some seed onto the pavement, the pool deck area, and I blew it all back into the lawn. But what I think I did is when I used the blower, it blew it over more so into the lawn areas. And this area over here, I was very careful. I was doing a pass more so inside the lawn as opposed to being directly on the edge doing a pass. These are instances where a drop spreader would come great in the hand. I have a drop spreader, I just didn't use it. I've got the spiker spreader, spent some money on that mid-season, and I wanted to see how it would do dropping grass seed out of it. Okay, so as far as the experience with the spiker spreader dropping seed, you definitely want to make sure you get on your edges a little better if that's your focus. But either way, if you do miss some spots, again, getting back in today's video, that's all we're going to be doing is just dropping some more SS 9000, and we're going to be doing that by hand. So all we got to do is take a little grass seed, sprinkle some in on the edges you missed, or maybe some spots inside the lawn that you want to patch up maybe. Put some peat moss back onto it, and then water by hand. We have established the lawn, okay, at 2 inches, some areas 2.5. Now is also a really good time to back down your watering. You don't have to continue watering every single day, okay? It's just like when we lay sod that first week. What we do here in the South is I recommend to clients you water 7 days straight, okay? Early mornings only. We do a deep saturation, make sure that the soil's moist. Then when you get into week 2, you can back off to every other day for watering. Seed, however, you still continue to water every day. By the third week going into this new grass seed, the same with sod, if you've got some height and you've got good coverage throughout the whole lawn, you can start to taper off on the watering. You don't have to water every single day because you've got germination. So now is a really good time period because you're going to start thinking, when do I mow? Well, if your soil is completely saturated, we're not putting a mower on it, so you need to start backing off on the watering as well. So as far as irrigation goes, if you're running irrigation, you can start tapering off on the water, either go to every other day, mornings only, or continue every day, but don't water 3 or 4, 5, 6 times per day. Definitely back out the watering. Remember, we're also looking for root establishment, okay? So with that being said, you got to remember, you don't want that water residing on the soil surface. You want the water to penetrate the soil so that the roots start reaching down as far as possible for that water. So I'm going to go ahead and go to every other day or 3 times a week. I'm watering, and then that way the soil starts to drying up. We promote root growth, and I can put the mower on it within the next after these next 7 days, after this next week. That way we can get a good cut out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and reseed some of these areas. I'm going to top it off with peat moss. Those areas that I showed you today, I'm going to also be watering by hand. Now those particular areas, I'm probably going to continue to water 7 days for the next 7 days straight. But for the majority of the lawn, I'm not going to do that. And then the last thing I'm going to go ahead and put down on the lawn today is a fungicide application. Okay, you can do a granular fungicide, or you can do the connection to the hose, a bottle of Bio Advanced fungicide. The reason why you want to start thinking about that is if you are overseeding a lawn. Bermuda is what I'm talking about today with perennial ryegrass. We are getting into cooler temperatures, okay? We're on the back end of our monsoon season, if you will, but through experience, what I have seen is those that have overseeded ryegrass in the winter here in the South, we still have some we still have increased temperatures, okay? We're still in the 90s, okay? Humidity is slightly there, so you are looking at increased chances of fungus inside the lawn. Remember, we're also getting into cooler temperatures in the later part of the evenings as well. So if you're still doing all that watering to get germination, or you're still doing those deep waterings in the mornings and you still have lower temperatures, or you're starting to get into lower temperatures, you got to start thinking about fungus also. Remember, you're transitioning out of a southern grass type where we wouldn't have to worry about fungus into a northern grass type where you need to start thinking about taking care of a northern grass type. And some applicators will go ahead and put down a fungicide. I'm gonna go ahead and do one just from experience here in the South. I've seen fungus take over rye inside of our lawns going into the winter. Okay, that's gonna be my last application. Mowing, watering, back it off, seed, bare spots that you might have missed, and get down a fungicide application. And then lastly, spoon feed the lawn. You are looking for some good sources of nitrogen on a low dose. Okay, so the lawn hasn't had but half a pound of nitrogen 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to go ahead and put down another application of fertilizer. I'm more than likely going to be using a liquid product so that I can stay off the lawn. I'm not running a spreader through it. I can put down a liquid application of fertilizer, either going to go at the quarter rate or maybe close to the half-pound rate per 1,000 square feet. That's it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below, and don't forget, always subscribe and like the channel. Talk to you guys later.